Welcome to BBPN. I'm your host, Cadet Tank. Cord was called up to protect Canadian royalty this week, leading to me to receive a one-week contract to host BBPN. What does this all mean? The staff has lost its goddamn mind. Nigel receives complaints for groping his co-star on camera. Scar tries to piss me off by monitoring the whole video, and Good Time molests me with that sexy voice. All this and more on this week's of BBPN. So here we go. Let's start with Good Time in the Nurgle division.
Flesh, bone, and bile. How delicious.
Hello and good day. This is Good Time with Day 13, end of the first split coverage of the Nurgle division. Seeing the leaderboard on screen now, we can see how these teams have placed. 12th through 14th did not make it, so as honorable mentions would start with them. 14th place, we have the Parcel Tong in the gang, coached by Nerdfrog, a new coach that joined up here on week 10. You can see they were given a few skills, I'm sure, to start the season off to help them through, picking up some doubles on a skink. Unfortunately, this team individually went 1 wins and 3 losses, which was not quite enough to get them through to the second half. Looking forward to seeing this coach next season on a fresh team and seeing how they do. Now taking a look at the first page, 13th place, Dauntless This by Scar. Not quite making it through, but taking a look at the team, we can see a few skills that were picked up near towards the end of the season, last game there. So some development was coming around the corner, but unfortunately not able to make it through. Better luck next season there, Scar. 12th place, last team not to make it through. We have the Wood Elves coached by Astrolay. Seeing them pick up a few skills here. Even the tree having movement up, huge to help them with the stand-ups. Great development there, but unfortunately missing it by 1 win. That 1 win being in the difference to Chernobyl's Finest in 11th place. 10th and 11th going to the Hooligan division. Now a little fun fact here, Astrolay did face the 14th place Parcel gang, and they actually lost that match, which would have tied them up for 11th, and that would have given them the tiebreaker as well, as they did beat Chernobyl's Finest in the heads up. So heartbreaker there, very close in the end there. Better luck next season, Astrolay. And congratulations to Chernobyl's Finest making it through to the Hooligan division in 11th place. We can see their team is a little bit banged up, but some good development with one Goblin picking up AG4, being able to dodge through the gaps a lot more efficiently. See if these guys can make it through and stay healthy through that division. Now tied for 9th, we do have Vamplite and the Star Wars Jedi, with the Hooligan being on the 10th spot. We did have to crunch some numbers. They did tie the heads up. This meant they went to the touchdown casualty differential, and that's where we see the Vamplite actually win that out with a score of -13 versus the Jedi's -24. So seeing the last team in the Hooligan division, 10th place, we have the Star Wars Jedi. Some good fundamental skills, block, tackle, that the Kislev so desperately need and lack in the early development. They'll be looking to win that tournament and make it through to the playoffs. Now 1st through 9th will be advancing towards the next split there for the Nurgle and Khorne division respectively. 9th place Vamplite. Looking at this, they can see Duke Lithium, the killer vampire, workhorse for the team. Blodge on 1 vampire as well, Count Hydrogen. But Beryllium, taking a strength decrease, decided to keep them because they can work the ball and Hypno game a little bit more efficiently. Strength on another vampire as well, so good skills on the vampires. Not very much on the thralls though. Let's see how these guys do in the next split. Congratulations to the Vamplite there. 8th place, we have Don't Call Us Goth. Dark Elves showing that they aren't quite developed as they want to be with only 11-10 showing on the team value, but a couple missed next games, of course, that will be coming back next. So it's a little bit low looking. However, this team does still need some development, still missing tackle and a few core skills like sure hands perhaps. Let's see how they do in the second half with this banged up team. 7th place we have Slow as Fuck, coached by Tasserin. Seeing here they have managed to pick up a few guards, some doubles going to dodge, and a few stat increases, keeping those players healthy. Very nice there. Strong team here. See how they do in the second half of the season. 6th place we have the Goblins, coached by Kodaris. The Honest Bunch, having a couple guard trolls protecting their goblin buddies, and a few goblins managing to pick up some stat increases. Absolutely terrifying with the stunty skill, being able to dodge through the gaps and create plays. Now they didn't start with any special goblins, but they finally picked up a pogo, it looks like, and with jump up as well. With 240k in the bank, I'm wondering what they look to do in the second half with that money. 5th place, Traumaville Toxies, coached by Hammer Time. On screen now, we can see one Nurgle Warrior still needing development there, being only one SPP away. You betcha they'll be looking to get that last one for them. Now the Beast of Nurgle has been sitting on stand firm since mid-season point. Unfortunately, I'm sure they'll be looking for one more level for that last casualty, skilling them up. Killer Pestigore, looks like they have a ball handler Pestigore with the sure hands as well. So they are managing to pick up some of those core skills. Very nice looking team here going into the second split. Tied for 3rd, we do have the Protectors of Azeroth versus the Real Slayers here, completely tied up with wins, draws, and losses. Now tiebreaker would go to heads up there, which the Real Slayers did manage to take 2-1. So this would put Azeroth as the legitimate 4th place. Seeing here, we can see the Berserkers are leveled up quite nicely, and their one ball handler Sylvanas with the agility increase, showing that they're kind of progressing above the rest of the team there. The Yeti taking a niggle, only 10k away from replacing them perhaps. So they have to have some options coming into the second half of the season. Other than that, a very strong team. Slayers, 3rd place. Chaos Warriors, great development there. Still need a few more skills though. Missing Claw, as you can see, with the doubles. Mutations going to Prehensile Tail on the beasts. Not usually what you see, but looking to lock down the teams with good basing. Very good looking team here. See how they do in the second half, which Chaos, of course, always gets better and better with more skills. Now last two, we have the undefeated teams. In second place, we have the Pink Fluffy Unicorns, coached by Descum on the Orcs. And you can see here a couple pieces with some stat ups. Very nice there on the Thrower and the Blitzer. Other than that, the other pieces like the Black Orcs, you can see only 2 of them leveled, 2 of them still rookies. Definitely hurting there, where Black Orcs desperately need those core skills. Their Troll that was niggled earlier in the season has managed to stay healthy for the rest of it. With Block, I'm sure that's why they kept them. Very strong skill for any big guy to pick up. And last, we have the Bone Bats sitting undefeated at 12 wins and 1 draw. Being on screen, we can see that they do have their mummies both sitting at level 3. Block, or rather guard and stand firm, being a good combo there, and the other one picking up the doubles with block. Couple whites there with some good levels. Their ghouls have developed nicely, but one rookie ghoul having one killed in the last game of the season. They'll be looking to carry this momentum through to the second half. Now with the records shown and teams progressing that we've talked about, let's see how they got there and see how the individual players have been doing. And you can't get to the end zone without some good punching. So bringing on screen here, we do have the top hitters this season. Ryan Robin Richards tied with Illidan Stormrage. Let's take a look at the players here. Robin picking up that block, tackle, mighty blow combo, and a doubles for jump up. You bet you they'll be looking for that pile-on with the next skill. Now, they did manage to get 13 casualties on 108 blocks with 2 confirmed kills. Not to be outdone, Illidan Stormrage did manage 13 casualties as well on 133 blocks with 2 kills as well. That Frenzy giving them some extra blocks, but you can see they did decide to pick up a strip ball, showing that they also want to play the ball game and not just go for the kills. Now in third place for the top hitters, we do have Baconhead on the Toxies, getting that mighty blow piling on claw combination that's absolutely terror on the pitch. But looking at their stats, they have only managed 12 casualties on 64 blocks and 0 kills. So although they have been getting the casualties on half the blocks as the other players, no kills means no rotters, and I'm sure they'll be looking to get a couple of those in the second half with this piece. Now, top passers this season, we can see Belithro with a score of 66 sits on top here with that dodge leader combination. So we have the quarterback, so to speak, managing 11 completions for 70 yards passing. Leia took second here with a score of 60 points, having that blodge guard combination. So not just a quarterback, but still managing 10 completions for 60 yards. And in third place, we do have Prince Twatlight for the Orcs, showing that they can pass as well, completing 11 passes for 58 yards. Now, what's passing without catching, right? So top receivers this season, we can see Leia, who is also a top passer, showing they can play both sides of the ball there. Obviously not passing themselves, I hope. Managing 14 catches for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now their teammate also in second place, Star Wars Jedi, showing they know how to pass the ball and catch. Luke Skywalker with 10 catches of their own for 368 yards and 4 touchdowns. And last we have the Orcs, their receiving blitzer, getting jacked with the agility increase. They managed to have 10 catches for 310 yards and 8 touchdowns. Now, when you can't pass the ball, you must run with it. So just top rushers here. We can see top of the pack here, Ron Riddler Richardson with 534 score. Having that blodge, step, sure hands combination, they did manage 534 yards for 11 touchdowns. In second place, we did have more touchdowns, but a little bit less yardage. Sylvanas Windrunner, also having that blodge step combo, but with an extra agility and guard as well. They can play both sides of the ball there, on defense as well, They managed to get 518 yards for 13 touchdowns rushing. And in third place, we do have the Kinslayer here for the real Slayers, Chaos, with that sure hands extra arms combo. They are the ball picker-upper on the team. They did manage 392 yards, but only 2 touchdowns. And last, we do have the interceptions on the season. Dwarves, for slow as fuck, did keep their lead with 2 interceptions. They did manage that by midway point of the season. So that means only 1 intercept across the second half, going to the Traumaville Toxies. Bang Bang Kid. Now that'll do it for us here. Congratulations to those teams who made it through, and condolences to those who did not quite make it. As always, thank you very much for your time. This is Good Time. Sending it back to you.
Hot dog. What a good episode. Let's go ahead and go over to the extras before Good Time has reason to join the Me Too movement.
Yes. I think we're live. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Extras for the BBPN. I am your host, Fenhelm Naisha, and of course at my side is the lovely Mela herself. Everyone, we are grateful to be back again. And we have finally made it to the end of round 1 for season 4 of the BBPN in Corrin Division. We are we are actually quite excited going forward. I believe today will be a bit of a short episode. We're just focusing on seeing which teams made it, and then of course going from there, because it's still being figured out exactly who's going to what division after that. It's I believe it's the top 11 from the divisions, and depending on how things go and shaped up, the main winners from Corrin will be facing off against the top teams and such in Nurgle, and both divisions will be mixed into 2 separate divisions and such again. Whereas the bottom, I believe 6 or so teams will actually be rolled up into the Hooligan division. A very fun division, which has its great share of potential champion and tough teams that can come out of that. Though the teams that end up there have a lot of hope of making it. Now, that being said, for those teams that did not make it, we understand. We wish them the best of luck for the next season if they come back, and we look forward to seeing them again on the pitch. Yes, I am too. Corrin has actually had its fair share of interesting games going up and down. Although I have to say, for myself, such over in Nurgle, I've had quite the ride myself. Though, if I had to look back on anything, I'm just kind of grateful that I was able to get past all those hurdles and finish in 3rd. Mightily, I can proclaim myself.
Oi! What are you going to do about me? I've got nothing to do in this segment of the show. There's no freaking games or such to give me predictions. I mean, I'm only here basically to fill in my timestamp here. It's boring. Oh, that's good to know and hear. Matter of fact, it just makes me feel better to just air it out and to hear those nice words. Nice to know that there's a bunch of work coming my way. And it's even better to know that some of my greenskin teams that I've had backing so far in the first round have made it through.
Yeah, well, if I remember correctly, only 2 of your greenskin teams have managed to move on forward. Granted, of course, I had trouble with one of them, but I'm not going to have... I know I'm going to have my shot at revenge going forward. And I will not have the bad luck that happened to me last time happen again. I promise you that.
Bad luck? What makes you think you had bad luck? I got all the money and such that I needed in order to fix that game. And I wasn't the only one alone. I had Mella's help after all. Made certain that your boys got down and never came back. Go ahead and ask her if you want.
Is that right? Did you really help him out in that game? Because I had trouble with that game. That was Scum's Orcs right there, and I had a bad time. Did you really have anything to do with this? I thought that apothecary seemed a little suspicious. Oh, if this ends up panning to be true, you are gonna get punished after we get out of this, as soon as I find out about all this. That is not the kind of punishment I'm talking about here. Do you keep that kind of talk to yourself?
Oh God, they're at it again. Really, guys? I mean, you flesh bags always seem to find new and interesting ways of disgusting me. Oh, is that how you call it? Well, you know what I consider to be fun? Not being ripped off at a certain casino that promises you good returns on bets that you make.
Oi! You got a problem with my establishment? You come say it's my face.
Oh, you! Oh, I've got some things to say to you. The service is lousy. The freaking the odds themselves don't even make sense half the time. How do you even manage to keep things in order over there?
It's not about keeping order, it's about making a business work. And you know what I'll have to do to keep that? I have too many gobos running around things, so it's really their fault, not mine.
Goblins! That's your issue! Okay, that's it! No! This stems straight from the top. I'm gonna send my minions over there and finally teach you the lesson that you have coming for it. A long time coming!
Oh, it's on now, Skelly! Just you wait! I'm gonna come over there and...
Oh, come on! Really? You're really gonna take his side on this? I'm just looking for a fair shake at things. Fine. I'll keep them away for now.
Fine.
I get the feeling that I am definitely a little over my head on this. Any case, I think it's about time that we get to moving along to the main segment of the show. So why don't we just go ahead and bring on over that rankings list then, huh? Mela, my dear, please do us the honors and bring us the tally then from Corn, and we'll see how things shook up over there. Now then, as to be stated again, this is the mashup, the top teams and such that made it from Corn going forward. So so as stated, or will be stated and such in the future, it's still being determined at the moment to see who exactly will be meshed up with who. Basically, the top teams from Corn and Nurgle will be meshed together and then divided into two separate new places, new divisions and such to go. The bottom bunch will actually be thrown in over into the Hooligan division. Now, Hooligan division has been a pretty fun division right there, but it's basically a top dog kind of thing, where the top 15 teams from the two new divisions go forward into the playoffs and such. Only one team from Hooligan has the right to be able to claim the 16th spot, which Hooligan has actually produced some very powerful teams coming out of it. So if you get lobbed into there, don't lose hope. You have a great chance of making it out. Now then, Mela, my dear, how about you just show us that the tally board then? Well, now this is an interesting development indeed. So, with everything out, and I have been confirmed that this is in fact the list. From the top down, then, we have J-Town Skaven taking first place in Corn Division. I mean, good job to the champ from last season. Followed very closely behind by Lando's Dark Elves. Now, it has been told to me that Lando and J-Town actually have the same record, but the reason why the Skaven are up above the Dark Elves is because the Skaven actually won the matchup between the two teams. So that's the tiebreaker going forward from there. At third place, we have MacDamus's Necromantic Puppies and such. Wow, he's pulling his weight, surely. Ending up at third place, very good. Ankev's Amazons take fourth, still a very strong team, and oh my, Yarik's Ogres are in fifth? That means that he's not going to be in Hooligan. I mean, Hooligan is basically Yarik's division, but this is a change of pace. Followed behind that is Proxy's Pro Elves. Now, the Pro Elves have had a bit of a rough go going a little bit forward, but they should. They're still a strong team. Followed behind that is Guinness's Dwarves. Now, Guinness took over for the Bretonians that had to drop out due to loss of so many players along the way. but they were, for the most part, near the bottom of the list. So to see Guinness come in with a team and be able to climb his way up to 7th, that in itself is pretty strong showing right there. Followed behind him is Bazer's Undead, then Rental's Kemri, and then at the very bottom we have both Dr. Helix's Goblins and Vort's Undead. Wow, now that is quite the mix-up right there. Whew. Good luck to all of you teams that managed to make it this far. Now then, as we have stated before, it's just there's going to be a little bit of a hiatus, maybe 1 week or so, before we get to see where all the teams end up for the 2nd division. There are other sports and such going on at the same time. I believe the exchange playoffs are going to be happening, so there should be some entertainment to keep you guys waiting while the season moves over into round 2. Oh, my dear, it's quite all right. It was just a technicality. It was like, I mean, that's what I was told, and you can blame Panda for that one. In fact, exclusively blame him for that. In any case, maybe we can squeeze in another segment and such. Actually, Grimwald, I've heard that since it was there had at least been a couple of deaths and such, right? Maybe you can give us a bit of a head count over there?
Yeah, I guess it's not a bad idea. Matter of fact, it's a great idea. Alright, jackasses, welcome to Body Count. You all know how this goes. And since this is covering the last 2 weeks, which is weeks 12 and 13 of Corn, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Only 4 deaths this time around, so it's kind of disappointing, really. No, seriously, it's very disappointing. But there is a bit of a silver lining in the fact that there is no asterisk into this one because all the deaths are from the living. Oh, it's great, I have to say. And speaking of the list, we've got 2 orcs. Dead orcs, yes. 1 level 2 blitzer with tackle, and then a level 2 line orc with a strength increase. Well, you don't see that every day. A faster strength 4 orc? Well, you don't see him now, because he's dead. Dumbbell must have dumped his bill. And then we got another pro elf dead, which is a level 2 line elf with dodge. I guess I'll just add that one to the others. And to round things off, we got a death from the ogres of all places, but it's just a Noblar, so little paperweight there. That actually did kind of cheer me up there from. However, things are going to change in the 2nd round. I'm tired of just covering all the deaths that happened over in Corn. In fact, there's been no reports or anything coming over from the Nurgle division. So starting in the 2nd round, I'm going to be counting all the dead in both rounds now, just to give you have a better increase in the inventory, and to let you all know the gloriousness that is death. Death will reign supreme, and soon all of you living flesh bags will succumb to it, and finally fall under my slew and... Okay. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and get things prepared. At least for the next round. Catch y'all later. Yeah, it's me. Yeah. How soon can you get me inside? Yeah, it's a go.
I'm so going to keep cheating him out of his winnings.
And I think with that, it'll be a good time to cut things off. I am Finhel Nisha, and this is the BBPN crew. Cutting off, saying, if I can't make my own luck, I'll just take it from you. Back to you.
Yep, definitely didn't see any groping there. No groping happened at all in the episode. Didn't see not once, twice, or 3 times. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over to Scar in the What the fuck? The Pain Train Division. Whatever the fuck he's doing.
Welcome back, coaches. I have finally returned to you with more slaughter. Yes, I know I have missed a few weeks, but that doesn't mean I wasn't doing anything. And just because I have been eliminated doesn't mean I haven't been paying attention. With all that time collecting footage, I now have a wonderful backlog to use. And I believe I even have enough to use a song I was saving for a special occasion. And I was even able to use the full song for maximum copyright chance. I'm rather proud of this one, so I hope you all enjoy.
Pain Train, baby.
Sadly, with the first round completed, the amount of kills will naturally drop. Less games and all. So, I will probably not have enough for another one of these for a while. But have no fear, I will still be scouring the league for as much workable material as possible while I wait for the next season. I am looking forward to seeing who will make it past round 2, actually. There is certainly no shortage of powerful teams this time around. I wish all of the teams the best of luck. But until then, it's back to you.
I mean, besides the fact that this video is probably going to get monetized, so nobody's going to get to see this regardless, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. That was fun. And speaking of fun, let's go over to everybody's favorite division, or at least it's mine, the Hooligan Division, with the Scum.
we go. Season 4, Hooligan Division. Everyone's favourite division, isn't it there? Well, we're going to give a quick little preview here of the 4 teams there. And then we're going to give them the different chances. Remember, Hooligan Division, this is where you make or break. And remember, always the winner Hooligan Division does get that precious final 16 spot there in the playoffs. And as we have seen before, some of the best teams have indeed come out of the Hooligan Division. This is where you recover. This is where you figure out where it all went wrong and try and make it to all go right. Okay, we're going to start reviewing the teams. Are we ready there? Alright, here's your first volunteer grew into the Hooligan Division. Yes, the atomic undead bogey there by the legendary Vought. Again, not what you'd expect to actually see in the Hooligan Division there, but that was the kind of season we had. You can tell because, look, only 4 fan factor. They really had a rough time of it. 3 rerolls, of course, he's got the mandatory necromancer. Well, it comes packed with it there. Taking a look here at the roster there, he does have 14 players. That's about right there, considering he's been acquiring players, as you can see, during the entire season. An interesting choice of skills there. You can see he's got the one mummy there, complete rookie. Yeah, you can tell something really bad happened during the season. And the second one, of course, break, tackle, and guard. That, elusive double hasn't shown up here. Taking a look at the white crew. Yes, all he's got here. Now, I've been used to seeing him have more whites. This is the season he's had. He's got the one with tackle and dodge, one with the AG increase. He does the business there. High speed move ghoul here, though. Bit unusual, but it will do the business here. Here you can see lots and lots of movement factor. He's got the 8, he's got sprint, he does his business there. And of course the rest of the ghoul crew there. He's got the one with the short hands and the block there. He's the solid ball handler there. Gets it to this lad here. He's got lots of options. And then of course the brand new one. You normally are used to this coach having more than one of these. You sometimes up to 4, but like I said, that's the season he's had here. Plenty of zombies. He's endlessly getting more of them. It always was all season. This is how his names are also different there. And of course, the one somewhat usual skeleton. Now, this is where we get into a huge discussion here about skeleton skills. Dirty player and kick. This is a bit of a problem. Dirty player, you do expect him to get ejected. So then when he earns a second skill, well, what's he buy? Well, you decide to buy him kick there, because he's going to have him on the field only during the offense, and then he's likely going to get ejected anyway. That's always the problem when this kind of player, the fouling player, actually gets an extra skill. What you do with it, unless it's a double and you get sneaky git, there's not really much else you can do about there. Alright, so what is the opinion on the sidelines there? What we think about? Yeah, it's a pretty good team. Should do pretty well. Alright, let's take a look at team number 2. Well, maybe they're not exactly Millwall, but they are a bunch of dastardly devils there. Yeah, you got it. The prescription has been written here by Dr. Helix. He's bringing pain and suffering to the Hooligan Division there. As some would say, that's not a big surprise. Goblins, yeah, they can have their up and down seasons, as I've always described here. The problem with basically a Goblin team, but any tier 3 team, they need just average dice. They don't deal with spikes very well. They just want average. If average doesn't happen, it can be an horrible season. Let's take a look at the team there. 3 rerolls, decent fan factor for the Hooligan Division. He's got 6 there. The low TV is going to be a bit of advantage as he goes on here. As you can see, here's been his biggest problem. His trolls. They're not doing anything. He's only got the one with guard. The other one you'd think by now would have guard. Nope, nothing. That's been a bit of a problem. However, let's take a look at the strange highlight reel. He's got not 1 but 2 blodging goblins. This is an enormous advantage when it comes to cage diving. They do great things. They really do. Sidestep, that's a good one for annoyance there. But as for the rest of the goblins, as you can see, the casualties have built up on the season. He slowly had to keep replacing and rotating players here. He's got no skill on Chainsaw. It tells you by the number here. Yeah, he's died at least once. And you can see here, well, he's got the Fanatic, but he hasn't really done anything either. He might have been a replacement too over the course of the season. And you can see there's no pogo stick in here. Well, unfortunately, as everyone says, that died. There's no bombardier. Same reason. As you can see, there's a lot of number 2s in his naming convention. That tells you how rough a season it really was there. But they're goblins. There's a lot they can do. Yeah, indeed, we do approve. Let's look at team number 3. Maybe we should go too far to that one there. Yes, there, yeah. Star Wars Jedi Luke Quad 4. He's got to be wondering what the hell's he doing in this division. Fun fact, Kislev ends up in this division a lot, don't they? But that's the nature of the Kislev there, because as I've said, the problem is they're a wonderful team to play, but it's the skills. It's trying to A, survive the skills, and B, even get the skills. Because they have so many, how would I say it, reactive skills, but not proactive skills, and thus, rerolls become a problem. Speaking of, he only has the 3, well overworked Apothecary, and 5 fan factor here. Taking a look at the crew, you can see the amount of damage all season he has probably taken here time and time again. As you can see here, numerous injuries, but that's usually the problem with Kislev. You can't afford to replace a lot of these injuries here. You end up, as long as they've got skills, you got to keep playing them until they're dead. I mentioned dead here. Now, he's got some good skill selections in here. This catches Dynamite. Anytime she gets in there, it easily guarantees that the next one coming in, he's probably getting T-Dice on your ball carrier there. And it is a wonderful combination of skills here. But again, the biggest problem he's had is trying to stay alive here. And of course, his biggest problem is he finally did late in the season acquire the bear. But the problem is the Paxton, in this case the Chewie here, he just hasn't been around long enough and he hasn't got enough points to even have, basically God. So it's a bit of a debate how this team's going to do here. Maybe he's in the right division. He could actually excel. He could actually do wonderful things there. But frankly, he's worlds of entertainment. All right, we'll see how he does. Let's go to the last team coming up. Yeah, that about sums it all up right there. He doesn't know how he did it, but he's here. He's in the Liga Division. Maybe that's right where he belongs. So when you think about it, we have 2 Goblin teams in the Liga Division this year. Someone said there should have been 3, but that didn't work out that way. He did it there. Let's take a look at what this surprising roster, Chernobyls finest, indeed have. God, what a season they had. They had glimmers of things going brilliantly, and then, of course, it is also the problem with the Underworld team. When things start going wrong, they really start going wrong. It's not the coach. I watched enough of his games now. It's not the coach. It's just the dice don't like him there. 3 rerolls, Apothecary, 5 fan factor. Taking a look at the survivors. Yes, that is the word for it, survivors. What is left of the team is impressive. What's going to happen in the League Division is you're going to have to find a way to rebuild this team and put it back together here. Now, I'm not too sure how that's going to work. Now, he did get the Precious Double and the Warpstone Troll. That is a big thing on this team here. But then you look at the survivors of the rest of the team, and you start to debate, well, can they do well? That's a good question here. He managed to finally keep basically the overworked Skaven generally alive, but they took a lot of damage getting this far anyway here. And, of course, he's been running out of Skaven linemen here. And then, of course, the Goblins. The Goblins have shown enormous resilience getting this far, but as you can see, the damage has been racked up left, right, and center. This is the phenomenal right here. This lad here, AJ4, 2 heads, he's the miracle worker. He just has to keep him alive. He can keep him alive, he can score. You can get the ball to him, he can score. But that's always the fun. He has to try and keep the team alive here. Mind you, a low TV might actually help with that there. So, can he do it? I think he can. He just has to brush it all off and go for the win. Right, let's sum it all up, shall we? Alright, so that basically sums it up. We're just waiting for those teams to get in there registered. As we all know, the action will start by August the 8th there. It's been a hell of a time there. You're all awesome because you've made it all the way to the Hooligan Division. Your last fighting chance. And may Nuffle truly bless your dice.
Hashtag Hooligan Division Best Division, right? Yeah, that was super fun. I enjoyed this episode. I hope you did too. If you did, leave a like. If you have something you want to add, leave a comment. If you want me back next week, do 30 likes and I'll come back. Yeah, we don't get 5, so I'm not worried about that. I don't have to come back next week. Anyway, that's it for BBPN. This is your host, Cadet Tank, saying sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, but never bet against me. I'm out.